Harry map is where you get this whole region is geothermally active. But you can see in this entire area this connection to the subsurface world.
Oh, started.
Yeah, connection to the subsurface world.
TV. Bit chaotic this morning. I don't even know what I want to say. It's 1st of August and it's 11 o'clock. How's everyone doing out there? It's a big challenge that we're all going through. And the way I'm dealing with it is to do what I've been doing for quite a long time in my life, which is to try and keep myself fully in the moment, as people say these days, in the moment, present, blah blah. And all that means is the tendency that you have, that we all have, to either project into the future and think about anything that relates to the future, plans that we might have, things we want to do, goals that we may have, I don't know, anything that relates to the future. So the deal is that the way I try to help myself at this current time is to never ask myself, when's this going to end? Is this going to be over? I'm talking about the coronavirus pandemic. And just to kind of accept, okay, this is what life is at the present moment. If a decision has to be made, do I feel comfortable doing it? For example, I used to work at the Primrose Hospice, which is a day centre, and I used to teach meditation. And recently they're sending us emails saying, can anyone help with the charity shop sorting clothes, which I did a week ago. It was okay, but I don't want to do it again. The way people were, nobody was wearing masks in the back. It just didn't feel like people were being very careful. And I didn't like that, so I haven't chosen to go back. Then there was an email saying that the charity shop in Bromsgrove High Street is opening and they're a bit short of volunteers because quite a few of their volunteers are having to shield, either because of their own health or the health of a partner, a family member. So if anyone feels they might be able to offer some time on the till. So yesterday I went to look inside the shop, meet the manager, see what the setup was, and she showed me how it all works around the till area. And there's something they revoltingly call a spit guard, which is like a perspex shield around the till. So, I've got the information, I came back, and I'm just sitting with it. And at the moment, I'm tending to think, no, I don't want to put myself in that situation. I'm not someone who wants to even look around the shops, never mind work in one of them. So that's kind of how I'm getting through. I acknowledge how lucky I am because I'm not tied to a job that I'm either afraid of losing or afraid of going into my job. So thank God and I feel for so many people who are having enormous struggles because of the COVID-19 of every kind: financial struggles, health struggles, coping with the strain of not being able to be with the people that they love, and all of that, and on and on and on. And there's so many cases of so many things. So I know that I just have to acknowledge my own set of circumstances and manage them in a way that I can. And like I say, the best way that I found is to just, whenever I find myself drifting into the present, what if, when, all of that, I just bring myself back to right where I am, doing what I'm doing, whatever it might be. And months go by like that. And that's how I'm doing it. I'm also doing a set of recordings, or video recordings, for my son, where I'm recording episodes about my life, about what my childhood was like, or, some of it, and teenage years, and just basically videos about my life, because I know that I was very interested in my 30s and maybe 40s, what my mother's life had been like. My father died when I was 33, I think it was. And I don't think I'd reached a point of wanting to know about his history by then. So I didn't pursue questioning him. But I did with my mother. And at one point I was on a writing course and we were doing research for a novel. And I'd chosen the Second World War period in history. And of course, my mum was sent away in, what do they call it? It's a word, it won't come to me. It's when in England there was children who were living in areas of the country that were considered particularly at risk of being bombed. So they sent these children off into the countryside to areas that were thought to be safer, and mum was sent away when she was very young. And as a result of my choices with the writing thing, I started sort of interviewing her and getting her to give me as much detail as she could remember about her childhood, and her teens, and what her life was like. And even though it was quite superficial accounts, it wasn't from a deep inner reflecting. It was more things that she did, places that she went, that type of thing. But I still ended up getting a sense of her life. And so I many times thought of writing my life story, because it's been very, very intense and very varied, and I've done a lot of things. I've travelled a lot and done a lot of things. So I thought, if Marcus reaches an age in his life where he wants to know, and if I've gone by then, it would be nice for him to be able to look at these videos. And it won't work for everyone, but for me it's been mind-blowing experience, because like I'm doing now, you talk to the camera and you recount incidents that come to mind. And you know, you recount the outer details, and you recount how you felt. And when you play them back, it's a very strange experience watching and listening to yourself talk about your life. You start to get a perspective. Well, that's what's been happening to me. You start to get a perspective which I don't think you would normally have. And that's the perspective of someone outside watching or listening to an account of someone's life, and it just happens to be yours. And I think it gives you a slightly different view about who you are and how you are, how you've become who you are. And I find it really interesting. So for me, it's a very worthwhile thing to do for myself. But also, I hope that it will, if Marcus ever does decide to look at them, I hope it will be something that he values. So, yeah, that's been part of what I'm doing. I've also joined a women's theatre group during lockdown, and we're making a piece via Zoom, what they call a Zoom chorus, which is nice. It's like 40 or so of us on this screen with all these little squares of people inside. And you know, they're guiding us through this recording twice a week. We're doing it's really good fun. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it there for today and do another one another day. I know I keep saying, please make a comment, only so I know if there's anyone out there, and if they are out there, that they might have something to say. Anyway, I hope you're all finding your own way through this lockdown in a way you can cope with it. And I hope one day to hear from somebody and know what they're thinking. So bye for now.